What is happening with the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard? The Los Angeles Clippers entered this season with big expectations, but the reality has been much more complicated. Kawhi Leonard remains at the center of the team's identity, yet his health and availability continue to shape their ceiling. On paper, the Clippers are one of the deepest rosters in the NBA. With Leonard, Paul George, and a strong supporting cast, this team should be a legitimate contender. However, the same story that has haunted the franchise for years is still unfolding: injuries and inconsistency. Kawhi has shown flashes of his old dominance, especially when he's on the floor and in rhythm. Defensively, he remains one of the best wing stoppers in the league, and offensively, his mid-range game is nearly unstoppable. But the problem isn't his skill set, it's whether he can stay on the court long enough to matter when the postseason arrives. Every time the Clippers build momentum, there always seems to be a setback. For fans, it's become a frustrating cycle of hope followed by concern. The Clippers front office, led by Lawrence Frank and backed by Steve Ballmer's financial resources, has doubled down on this core. They've surrounded Kawhi and George with veterans who can spread the floor, defend, and play multiple roles. Yet the team's chemistry has been a work in progress. Even with stretches of great play, questions remain about whether this roster is built to last over an 82-game season plus the playoffs. If Kawhi isn't fully healthy, the Clippers' championship window may never truly open. This is why so much attention is on Leonard right now. Every game he plays matters, but every missed game creates more doubt. Can he be relied upon to lead them through a grueling Western Conference playoff run? If not, it's fair to wonder whether the Clippers' gamble has failed. Thoughts on the Philadelphia 76ers? Switching over to the East, the Philadelphia 76ers find themselves in an equally fascinating situation. Joel Embiid remains the centerpiece of everything they do, and when healthy, he is one of the most dominant players in the NBA. The reigning MVP has the size, skill, and power to take over games, but the question is whether the Sixers have surrounded him with enough help to finally break through to the finals. Tyrese Maxey's rise has been the bright spot for Philadelphia. His scoring, speed, and confidence have made him the perfect running mate for Embiid, giving the Sixers a dynamic 1-2 punch. Maxey's development has also eased some of the sting from losing James Harden, proving that this team can still thrive without another ball-dominant star. However, much like the Clippers, the Sixers' story revolves around health and reliability. Embiid has had his share of injuries over the years, and Philadelphia's entire playoff outlook depends on him being able to perform at a high level deep into the postseason. The organization has tried to manage his workload, but the Eastern Conference is competitive, and resting too much can cost valuable seeding. Another factor is the Sixers' supporting cast. They have solid role players and shooters, but in the playoffs, stars make the difference. Maxey has shown that he can rise to the moment, but Philadelphia needs a third consistent scorer and playmaker to lighten the load on their two stars. Whether that comes through internal growth or a future trade remains to be seen. The Sixers are caught in a balancing act, trying to win now with Embiid in his prime while also preparing for the future. The front office has made smart moves to keep flexibility, but the clock is ticking. Philadelphia fans have been waiting for years to see their team take the next step, and anything short of a deep playoff run will be considered a disappointment. Final take. Both the Clippers and the Sixers are living in a similar reality. They have superstars capable of leading them to a title, but lingering health issues and roster questions keep them stuck in what-if territory. For the Clippers, everything hinges on Kawhi Leonard's availability. For the Sixers, it's about whether Joel Embiid can finally stay healthy when it matters most. Until those questions are answered, both franchises remain talented, dangerous, and incomplete.